Welcome to Author Mindset Monday. Today is a beautiful day. It's day 120 of the 2-Minute Author Challenge. And today's quote comes from yours truly. And I love to tell authors, especially people writing their first book, that your first book doesn't need to be a bestseller. Your first book simply needs to get published. It needs to get written, it needs to get finished, it needs to get published. Because you will learn so much through that process that you will be able to take what you learn and use that to turn your next book into a bestseller. If you try and do that right off the bat, I mean, you might be successful, absolutely. But one of the things that I firmly believe in is don't put way too much pressure on yourself the first time you're trying to accomplish something. Because writing a book for the very first time is already a massive undertaking. And if you want to add on the pressure of being a bestseller as well, odds are you're going to get trapped in that perfectionism that stops so many people from getting it done in the first place. And that's what I want to help you avoid with today's video. So to that end, your first book needs to meet a ton of criteria. But I honestly believe becoming a bestseller is not one of them that it needs to meet. If it does, fantastic, but that should never be your focus point, especially when you're starting out writing your first book, because it gets you trapped in that perfectionism of, well, it has to be perfect or I can't publish. And faced with that kind of pressure, writing the book is going to be harder. Every single step is going to be more difficult than it needs to be because you've placed an undue added pressure on yourself. So reserve all that crap for your next book, Let this first one just be a learning process and allow the next one to have all those pressures that you want to add on afterwards. Because to write and publish your very first book, you're going to need to learn some new skills. You're going to need to build some new habits. You're going to need to educate and enroll your family that this is something that's really, really important to you. So have their support to help you make the time to write every single day and not interrupt you while you're doing that. That alone, that one step alone is massive. It really, really is. It's all part of the building of the new habits and learning new stuff, but getting your family, your loved ones, your friends, all enrolled in this with you is one of the bigger steps that pays off hugely when you're going through all of this. It's also going to require you to set realistic deadlines and then meet those deadlines. So it can be as simple as, well, how many words am I going to write each day? I'm going to commit to writing, 500 words every day. So that's a daily target that you need to meet every single day if you're going to be successful, if you're going to achieve that goal. Because one of the things I love to talk about is manuscript math and how you can actually figure out precisely to the day how many days of writing based on how fast you write, how many words you write per hour, how many days of writing it will actually take you to write your first draft. It's just simple math. It's nothing extraordinary, but it is a really fun process, and it's really helpful when it comes to setting these sorts of deadlines. So just remember this, on your first journey and your first adventure down publication highway, there's so many things you don't know. As I forget who said it, but we don't know what we don't know, so we don't know all the challenges that's going to present, right? So when we enter this adventure, as I like to call it, with an open mind and an open heart, we're going to be far more open and accessible and being able to respond positively to the challenges that get tossed in our way. Accept that this is a new learning journey and there's so many things you're going to have to figure out. And this applies both internally and externally. There are so many things you're going to need to learn about yourself, how you operate, how you think, what motivates you at the deepest levels. You're going to have to figure all that stuff out as part of building your own, personalized roadmap for success. And then you're going to have to figure out, well, who is my book for? How am I going to resonate with them? There's all those external things. It can be as simple as what is the process of actually taking my finished book and turning it into a published book through Amazon's KDP system? It's not difficult, but there's a lot of steps involved, right? So enjoy the process absolutely as much as you can. Because when you enjoy the learning process, it's going to be so much easier for you to be able to actually take all this stuff in and maintain it and resonate with it and use it on your next book. So I'm always looking forward to writing the next book. In fact, I'm starting my next one tomorrow morning because tomorrow is November 1st and the start of National Novel Writing Month. And that's a very exciting month for me. It always has been, ever since I first came across NaNoWriMo many, many moons ago. So, and I'm trying things out that I've never tried before, because that's one of the big points of all of this, is trying new things, seeing what worked well last time, how can I improve on that and build it so that it works better this time. That's one of many things I'm attempting this time. Another key point is always reach out for help when you need it. Because yes, you can figure every single step of this out all by yourself. I love to say that it's not difficult, but it is time consuming. And if someone else can help you shortcut that learning curve, why would you not take advantage of that? It would actually be rather silly not to, right? So, and when you get to the end of that first journey, that first adventure down publication highway, just celebrate the fact that you've accomplished this. You've written and published your first book, because it is a massive deal. It is way bigger than anyone who doesn't write a book can ever actually comprehend. But the second that you're finished with the celebrating, start planning for the next book. Because nobody writes one book and then never writes another one again. That's just not how it typically works, right? And the more you repeat this process, the easier it becomes, the more joy-filled it becomes. And for me, one of the big points of all of this is the more grateful I can be, the more compassionate I can be, both with myself and with my ideal readers, the more joyous this entire process becomes. And like I said, that's the whole point. And so I'm really looking forward to this year's NaNoWriMo, because I'm writing a book in a very different way than I have before. And I don't know what that process is gonna look like. So that the learning journey never ends, I guess, is the point I'm trying to make. So embrace it, love it, and just let yourself enjoy it. Just let yourself enjoy it. And if you're not writing a book right this moment, but you want to, National Novel Writing Month is a really great time to start, just to challenge yourself. Can I write 50,000 words in a single month? The answer is yes, you can. How easy that is will depend on a whole bunch of different things, but it is possible. So embrace the world of possibility instead of embracing all those I can'ts and that's impossible for me's, because none of this stuff is impossible for anyone. Got to set your mind to it and just keep working it diligently towards it, and it'll become true. That's all success ever is, right? Taking the next step that's put in front of me to do. And ideally, taking that step with gratitude and joy and compassion and all those great things. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it's helped you maybe approach this scary process with a little less fear and a little more joy. That would be ideal. And if you like this video, please like and share it with your family and your friends. And if there's something that particularly resonated for you, I'd love to hear what that is in the comments. And I would also love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all the social media accounts. And all of my social media accounts are located. You can find the links to all of them at sleekbio.com/Christopher. Very simple. Everything is there. And just remember, your first book does not need to be a bestseller, but it does need to get published, because through that process, you will learn so many things you never knew were required as part of this trip down publication highway. And that'll make your next book so much easier and so much better. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow at 3. Bye for now.